This will increase your fluency 10 times. You will become 10 times more fluent in English without the hassle of learning grammar or more vocabulary. Hello, everybody. How are you all? Hope you're doing great. So, welcome back to another session of Learning English and Speaking Fluent English with me. In today's session, I'm going to tell you something that is going to help you become 10 times more fluent. 10x fluency. Oh, wow. Warning! This will make you 10x fluent. So, are you all ready for this? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you can get all the videos that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with the friends too. Now, coming back to today's lesson, something that is going to help you become 10 times more fluent. Yes, so these are the three techniques that are going to help you become 10 times more fluent. Something that you have to apply while you are speaking. So you are speaking. And while you're speaking something, what if, whatever words you're using, whatever sentence you are creating, you're making, you're speaking them, whatever you're doing, if you apply these techniques on the ongoing process of speaking, you can sound 10 times more fluent. Your fluency will increase. Basically, this is gonna increase a lot of your fluency because the nuances of language and everything, you don't have to pay attention to that. Rather, the flow with which you speak would increase a lot. You would sound better, you would sound more fluent, you would sound refined. Whatever you're speaking, there's gonna be a refinement in that process. So your fluency will increase a lot. The way you sound will be so fluent. What are we waiting for? Let's begin with the three techniques. Technique number one. Well, technique number one is focus on clarity, not perfection. Okay, focusing on clarity, not perfection. What does this exactly mean? So if you want to speak English, you might be making mistakes and all that. How to focus on clarity? What to do exactly? Basically, you have to focus on speaking the things out rather than worrying too much about the grammar. Clarity is the flow of words and perfection is the grammar used. So even if you're making a few little bit negligible mistakes, okay, in grammar, do not be too conscious of them. Do not be too conscious about the content that you're speaking. If you focus too much on making that sentence exactly perfect, this and that, the word that you're using, if you are too much focused on the perfection of the structure, you would compromise on the clarity because you will fumble for words because you are gonna be overconscious. And once you're overconscious, it reflects in your speaking, the way you're speaking, because you might be speaking something, but you're so conscious about the words you're using, the structure and everything, you want to make it perfect. It's not natural. It's not coming out naturally from within. And if you care less about that, if you focus on more delivering the message that you want to, if you focus more on delivering the idea rather than the structure, the idea, the essence, you will be more clear because you will be making whatever you're saying, the sentences, in a particular flow. So there will be a flow in those sentences, right? You have to focus on clarity, not on perfection. That means few mistakes here and there, they are fine, they're okay. You can work on them later on when you're doing your English practice, your English learning, you can work on them. But when you're speaking in front of somebody, when you are giving maybe a presentation, when you are there, when you are indulged in a conversation, you just go with the flow. Focus on the clarity of the words that you're using. Focus on the clarity, the way you are speaking, the way you're pronouncing. It helps a lot. Technique number two. Technique number two is to monitor your speaking speed. Monitoring your speaking speed. That's very important. The way you speak and how slow you're speaking, how fast you're speaking, whatever is the speed of your speaking, it influences your fluency. Why? Because if you're speaking too slow, It appears as if you're searching for words, as if you're not so sure about what you're saying, and if you're too fast, it feels as if you're rushed. You're rushing the words out because you might be too conscious of getting everything out before maybe you forget them, maybe you lose the track of speaking. A lot of times it happens when people are nervous. Either they are too slow in the speaking or they rush everything out. They rush with the words, with the sentences, with whatever they want to say. And that is not the correct way, okay? So if you are rushing with the words, the other person would not have time to reflect on what you're speaking. The other person would not have time to understand or to receive the information you're giving to the person. So, whatever you're saying, it should be understandable by the other person. If the person is able to understand, you automatically become fluent. And that is what we want to do, to increase fluency. Because when you control the speed of your speaking, you have a lot of things under your control. You are more confident about what you're saying. You know that, okay, it's controlled, it's in my control. When you're not rushing, you don't become nervous, because rushing creates a nervousness, a kind of anxious feeling that let's get everything out before maybe I forget word, before this happens, that happens. So that kind of feeling will not come, because now you're sure about what you're speaking. You have control not only over your speed, but also the way you are speaking, right? What words you are using, the sentence you're making. So if you have a controlled speed of speaking, neither too fast, neither too slow, and changing according to the need of the information, of the content, whatever you're saying, you need to change the pace, right? You can't be just monotonous, going in a single pace. If you pay attention towards how I am speaking, you can see that I'm also changing the pace of my voice. And that happens naturally. Once you know how to work with it, once you know how to play with this thing, it would come to you naturally. It happens naturally. Because now you automatically know where to fasten up the pace and where to slow down. Your subconscious mind is adjusted to this particular fact, you can say, the skill, you can say. So it's a skill. And if you master it, you will sound so much fluent, so much more fluent. You might be using great words, you might be making perfect sentence structures, but if your pace is not under the control, the speed of your speaking is not controlled, you would not sound fluent. So improving this one thing, paying attention to this one particular area, aspect, can make you a lot more fluent. Technique number 3. Well, technique number 3 is to eliminate the bad filler words. Eliminating the bad filler words. What are these? See, sometimes you can use filler words. There are certain filler words like seriously, actually, which serves a particular purpose. And if you're using them for their purpose, that's okay. You can use them. You should not overuse them. Overusing filler words would sound like you are not fluent. Overusing filler words would make you less fluent, because it's gonna create a barrier to every sentence you're speaking, to the every information, every word, whatever you're speaking. It would create barrier in between. Continuous use of filler words creates a particular barrier, and this barrier serves as a blockage to your fluency. So you should not overuse these filler words. Now, these were the good filler words, something that you can use. And sometimes using these kinds of filler words, for example, actually, usually, these kind of filler words would also make you sound relatable. Audience can relate to you. Audience can understand what you're saying. It helps in better communication, kind of rapport building. Now, if you overuse these filler words, that's wrong. Also, using bad filler words like oh, okay, a lot is not correct. It's a hindrance to your fluency. Overusing these bad filler words. Also, using filler words from your native language, your one syllable words, such words that you use a lot. So these kinds of words are also used by people unconsciously. Like, they use it. They're not able to understand that, okay, they are using these words in between. Whenever they feel nervous, they throw in a filler word. Now, this is something that you should eliminate. Once you eliminate a filler word, it sounds so different. For example, if I say, last weekend I went on a vacation and it was a great experience for me. Now, imagine listening to the same sentence with filler words thrown in between, with those sounds like okay, oh, uh-huh. How would that sound? It would not sound good. It would not sound fluent. So avoid these bad filler words. Eliminate them and you are gonna sound so much more fluent. So these are the three techniques through which you can become super fluent in English. Yes, become absolutely fluent. This will increase your fluency 10 times. You will become 10 times more fluent in English without the hassle of learning grammar or more vocabulary. With whatever knowledge you have of English, you can become more fluent in it if you use all these three techniques. So that's it for today. That is it. And I'm going to meet you again with a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care and bye.